Hiya there and welcome to Eternia Collectables. Right, what I'm going to do today is just demonstrate something which I think is pretty obvious, but we'll get into, and that is protecting your items. Obviously, I am a toy dealer and I have a lot of toys and a lot of things are on shelf storage. What I do find, and it hates me, if you do things like toy shows or exhibitions or that, the amount of times boxes go on a shelf, get touched, come back, blah, blah, blah. Over time, I remember in a summer season when we used to put all the carded Star Wars figures out and that, the amount of damage when we actually did the stock take, at the end of the year from just wear and tear on these things. What we used to do in the end is protect the items. When we used to do toy fairs like the memorabilia show in Birmingham and, Comic Cons, things like that, what we used to do is buy flower wrap. And you probably know it's like paper, but obviously it's plastic, and it's what flowers come in, that stuff. What we used to do is we used to buy this in big rolls, and we used to wrap the Castle Grey skulls and all the really nice GI Joe vehicles. We used to wrap it in this pallet wrap and basically make it look like Christmas paper. How you wrap it, really neat, but it was clear. That's what we used to do. But one thing I will tell you is flower wrap is quite expensive. If you're just a small time collector and you've got a few things, it's great to buy, some of that. A big dealer, I have thousands of items in storage and stuff. What we tend to do, because I'm always in storage pulling a box out, have to lift another box up, what we find to stop the damage is simple. All we use is this pallet wrap. Simple like that. If you've got a lot of stuff or you want to put stuff in the loft, for a rainy day and you don't want it dusty, like if I could show you this, right, this has been in storage a long time. And what happens when it's in storage, it gets all these damp marks on there. What's happened, the card goes all horrible. This has just been in a dry loft and the box starts perishing and it gets dirty. If you want to stop this from happening and preserve the boxes and stuff like that, and you're on a budget, obviously you could go and buy these, AFA grade boxes and acrylic cases and stuff like that, but it's going to cost you a fortune. Literally, get some pallet wrap like this. One of these will probably cost you £5 for a big one of that. It's just cling film basically, and all you do is carefully just wrap that round, seal it all up with a bit of sellotape, and put it in the loft or wherever you're putting it. And if you do it neat enough at the front and do, the sellotape thing at the back, you can still go and display it and you've got a nice clear thing. And as I say, it's on a budget for a £5. You can go out, as I say, and buy all the, nice, I can't even remember what it's called now, the flower wrap. There's a type of grade of plastic it is. You can buy all that stuff, but it does cost a lot of money. If you've got loads of GI Joes or things like that, vehicles, it can cost quite a lot of money. And as I say, you can obviously buy Pro Protection boxes for your Star Wars. But what you're doing, paying £3-4 each for them, it's quite expensive if you've got a collection like me. And I have thousands of items. What do we do to protect? Also, this again is pretty obvious what I do, is none of my action figures in storage are loose. Every single one is protected. And even my weapons, all the accessories and stuff like that. And all I do, all the Lego figures, every single one, goes just in a bag like that. Obviously, I've got letters on there, not letters, where you write, so it can tell me, what the weapon's for, blah, blah, blah. But if they're clear, you can still display a Lego figure quite nicely. If cut that off, whatever. You can actually do it quite nice and protect it. It's another thing I've noticed, if you're a smoker or, the popular thing these days, if people smoking weed and stuff like that. If you're a weed smoker, I'm not, but if you are, and no problem if you are, and you've got a lovely collection, let's say GI Joe's, Sideshow, the fumes are absolutely going to yellow your boxes up. This is what I find as well, with a lot of old things like scare electric dinky cars. The people are heavy smokers and the boxes have gone really yellow. Simple, just put some of this over it. Surely I shouldn't need to demonstrate how easy this is, but it's just like packing a sandwich. Big roll of cling film, just wrap it up, put it in the loft or, your shelf or whatever. That's all you need to do. And things like He-Man figures, on the bigger cards, what we do is, when we're transporting or in storage, they're all in Ziploc bags. What what I do is you can buy 1,000 at a time of the Ziploc bags, and they're all in storage. Nothing is left open to the elements of water, you know, dampness, because it's quite surprising. Sorry if I'm going on. If you've got one of these humidifiers in your house and you see how much water it takes in, all your stuff, especially if you know it's expensive, ends up getting ruined. And obviously another way to protect your items is keep it away from the sunlight. Another thing which really I find really ridiculous is people will go and get these really expensive AFA graded stuff and then put them in a hot environment or put them in a cold environment, or they'll put them by sunlight. And it doesn't matter if you paid 300 quid, you know, for a Star Wars AFA graded figure, and then you've put it in the wrong conditions and knackered the thing. Sorry about this, I was just going to try, I'm using my phone camera today, because it's pretty damn good at videos. But the only thing is, I'm trying to show you basically how to do this. Bear with me. And at the same time, I think it's pretty obvious. You just keep it tight like that. I can't do it one-handed, unfortunately. But literally, if you've got collectibles, pallet wrap, also what we do sometimes with the weapons, you've got to be really careful, is you use this shrink wrap here, and somewhere we've got a hairdryer, and it's a 400 Fahrenheit or Celsius, I think it is, hairdryer. You've got to be really careful if you're using one of these, but it's brilliant. And what we do with a lot of the He-Man, you know, larger accessories and stuff like that, we carefully heat the shrink wrapper, and it literally shrinks, seals the whole lot. But you have to be so careful. Again, if you've got one of these, maybe I shouldn't be telling you, you've got to be really careful, because if you put the heat thing and seal it all up, you can actually melt your items, so you've got to be careful. So I wouldn't recommend that to anyone, but it's something I can do, because I basically know what I'm doing with the heat thing. They're really, really hot, not a normal hairdryer. So this is just a budget how to protect your things. Keep them out of sunlight. Do not put them anywhere hot. The amount of collections of diecast cars I've got where the metal's just warped and all the windows are melted because they've put them somewhere near the boiler, or they've been in direct sunlight and the sun's come through the window and magnified the boxes. It's quite shocking how much environment can ruin your stuff. I think that's obvious. Or you could be a really sad, and I've seen this used to be big in the 70s. They used to have yellow windows. I don't know, you know, how old people are. What it used to do is bounce the UV lights back, so you could have a shop display at the front, and none of the stuff would be getting faded. That's another way, but who the hell wants yellow cabinets? You know, yellow glass cabinets, but you can actually do that. Anyway, thanks for looking. Please like, comment, subscribe. And sorry if this was just obvious, but it's quite surprising how many times, you know, I go and buy collectibles, and it's just, people's collections are just literally, it looks like, I don't know, a Storage Wars episode. And these things sometimes cost hundreds of pounds each, and people have paid a fortune, and they just don't know how to look after these expensive things. Hence, they get rarer and rarer and go up in price. Look after your stuff. Literally, just put some waterproof pallet wrap around the items, or as I said, Ziploc bags. You can buy these obviously in all different sizes. So I put every figure, it loose regardless of what it's worth. As soon as it comes in, I stick it in one of these, and then I put it in a Kerber box in storage, all labelled up, so there'll be G.I. Joe's, you know, 1985, every single one in a box, blah blah, in one of these. But I think that's pretty obvious to everyone, but it is quite surprising how many collections I buy, and the stuff's just piles all over the place, not organised. Anyway, thanks for looking. Please like, comment, subscribe. Bye bye.